At exactly midnight, we heard the knocks, 3 slow, deliberate taps on the door, and I knew she had come back. It started as a stupid prank. We were seniors, bored, and looking for something to do on the last night of summer. There were 5 of us, me, Sarah, Kyle, Lindsay, and Derek. We'd spent most of high school daring each other to do dumb stuff, but that night, the idea came up to mess with Holly Dawson. Holly was this quiet girl in our class, always keeping to herself, never really fitting in. The kind of girl you never noticed, except for the rumors. People said her family was into weird stuff, witchcraft or some creepy occult nonsense. We never believed it, but we thought it would be fun to scare her. So, we came up with the Midnight Pact. At 11:30 p.m., we snuck into the woods behind her house and set up. The plan was simple: wait until midnight, bang on her door, shout some creepy chants, and run off. Harmless, right? Midnight came. We were all giddy with nervous energy, trying not to laugh as we gathered in front of her door. I was the one who knocked, 3 times. Then Kyle started chanting some made-up nonsense we thought sounded spooky. We waited for a few seconds, expecting her to open the door and freak out. But she didn't. Instead, the door creaked open just a crack, enough for us to see her. Holly stood there, her face pale, eyes wide, like she had been waiting for us. She didn't say a word. Just stared at us, and something about the way she looked, it felt wrong, like she wasn't scared, but expecting us. Derek, being Derek, pushed the door open wider and shouted, "Come on, Holly. Scare us back." But then she smiled, a weird, cold smile that made my stomach drop. She stepped out of the house, barefoot, and said quietly, "You shouldn't have knocked." That was it. No screaming, no chasing us. She just turned and closed the door. We laughed it off, but it felt off. The whole thing. That's when the weird stuff started happening. First, Kyle disappeared. Just didn't show up for school the next week. His parents said he'd run away, but that didn't make sense. He had a full ride to college. Then Lindsay started talking about seeing things at night. Shadows outside her window, knocking sounds she couldn't explain. One by one, we began losing sleep. Derek stopped showing up to our hangouts, saying he felt like someone was watching him everywhere he went. Sarah, the toughest of us all, started freaking out, claiming she heard whispers whenever the clock hit midnight. Then it was my turn. I tried to ignore it. Thought maybe it was guilt or paranoia. But last night, at exactly midnight, I heard the knocks on my front door, 3 slow, deliberate taps. Just like I'd done to Holly. My heart raced, but I didn't move. I told myself it was in my head, that it wasn't real. But the knocks came again. I opened the door, half expecting one of my friends trying to prank me back. But no one was there. Just an empty street and the sound of the wind. That's when I got the text. It was from a number I didn't recognize, just 3 words: "You were next, Jake." I don't know what's coming. I don't even know if this is real anymore or if I'm just losing it, but something happened that night in the woods. We made a pact we didn't understand. Holly knew we were coming, and she's not done with us yet. If you're reading this and you think it's some stupid story, think again. Because now it's midnight, and I can hear the knocks again. 3 taps. They're getting louder. I don't think I'll make it through the night.